Have you ever heard that saying, India is a rich country of poor people? Kind of makes you stop and think, right? I mean, our economy is one of the biggest in the world. It's booming. And yet so many of us still feel, well, stuck in the middle class. We don't really feel rich. So why is that? We're going to dive into this because the answer, believe it or not, might have more to do with what's in your head than what's in your bank account. So what is this disconnect? Why do we feel like we're treading water while the economy is supposedly soaring? Well, it turns out our society, our families, even our schools have unintentionally laid out these, let's call them mindset traps. They're these invisible scripts that keep us running in circles, financially speaking. Today, we're going to expose 5 of the biggest traps that are designed to keep you middle class. All right, so here's our game plan. We're going to dismantle these 5 traps one by one. We'll kick things off with a family secret that's literally costing us billions. Then, we'll look at how terrifyingly close many of us are to hitting rock bottom. After that, we'll tackle the whole social media debt trap, the huge danger of just stopping learning, and finally, a really self-sabotaging mindset that practically guarantees you stay poor. Let's get into it. Okay, trap number 1. This is by far the biggest and most damaging one, and it all starts right at the dinner table. It's rooted in this weird cultural idea that talking about money with your own family is, I don't know, rude or greedy. I like to call this the Bahban syndrome. You've seen the movie, right? It drilled this really toxic idea into our heads that if you ask your parents about their finances, you're a bad kid who's just after their money. And this creates this huge wall of silence. You could be asking with the best intentions, just wanting to help them manage their investments, and it gets seen as you trying to snatch their property. And the result of all this secrecy? This number. Just look at it. 1 lakh crore rupees. That's over 1 trillion rupees just sitting there, unclaimed, in banks, in insurance policies, in mutual funds. This is money that belongs to families, maybe even yours, but it's basically lost in the system. To put that number into perspective for you, that lost fortune is almost 1/6 of India's entire defense budget for a year. It's an absolutely staggering amount of wealth that has just vanished. And why? Simply because families aren't talking to each other about money. And this is how it happens. It's a tragic and completely avoidable cycle. Step 1, a parent works their whole life, they save, they invest, they build something. Step 2, they keep every single detail about it a secret. Step 3, they pass away, and all that crucial information goes with them. And then step 4, the family's inheritance, their rightful wealth, is lost forever. This whole tragedy could be avoided with just one conversation. That lack of planning and communication leads us straight into trap number 2. This one really highlights just how fragile that middle-class life can be. We feel secure in our jobs and our savings, but the hard truth is, a lot of us are just one bad diagnosis away from losing everything. And look, these aren't just random numbers. These are real costs people have shared online. 4 lakh rupees for a bypass surgery, 9.5 lakh after a bad road accident, even 30 lakh for other serious health issues. A single one of these bills can completely wipe out years, even decades of savings in the blink of an eye.
But despite this, so many of us still think, why should I pay for health insurance? I'm healthy. It's just wasted money. But that kind of thinking is a massive gamble. That relatively small premium you pay every year, that's often the only thing standing between your family's financial security and total bankruptcy. So the real question is, are you willing to take that risk?
Okay, on to trap number 3. This one is a modern-day monster, and it's powered by social media. It's that constant pressure to look successful, to show off a lifestyle, even if it means you're secretly drowning in debt to pull it off. We've all heard this phrase, haven't we? Fake it till you make it. But somewhere along the line, it stopped being about building confidence and started being about faking a life you can't afford, all for likes and comments online. So on Instagram, you see it all. The lavish European honeymoons, the designer belts, the brand new iPhones, the fancy cars. But what's the hidden reality behind the filter? It's 10-year personal loans for weddings. It's credit cards maxed out for gadgets. It's living anxiously paycheck to paycheck just to keep up this expensive illusion. The only real way to escape this trap is to completely change your definition of wealth. Real wealth isn't about the things you can flex on Instagram. It's the stuff money can't actually buy. It's a loving home, a healthy body, a night of peaceful, restful sleep. These are the real assets, and their value never, ever goes down. All right, let's talk about trap number 4. This one's a little sneaky because it feels comfortable. It's the belief that once you get your college degree, you're done. Your learning is finished. This is so dangerous, especially when it comes to your money. I absolutely love this quote because it is so true. Life is an open book exam. With the entire internet in our pockets, Google, YouTube, the answers to almost any question about money are right there. There's really no excuse anymore for not understanding basic things like taxes, assets, or how investments work. Choosing to be ignorant today is actively choosing to be left behind. And the price you pay for that ignorance is high. When you stop learning, you become the perfect target for those double your money in 21 days scams. You can't tell the difference between a smart investment and a disaster waiting to happen. And while the rest of the world upgrades, you're stuck playing by old, outdated rules. And now we've arrived at our final trap, number 5. This one is probably the most toxic of them all because it's purely psychological. It's the sour grapes mindset. It's when you start to rationalize your own failures by hating on other people's success. It's a mindset that actually celebrates being a victim. You all know the old story, right? The fox tries and tries to reach these juicy grapes, but he just can't jump high enough, so he gives up. Now, he has 3 choices. 1, he could upgrade himself, go to the gym, learn to jump higher. 2, he could just accept reality and admit the grapes are out of reach. But the fox, he chooses option 3. He reinterprets the whole situation and says, those grapes were probably sour anyway. And that right there is the poverty mindset in action. Instead of working to improve ourselves, we make excuses. We see someone get a promotion and we whisper that they must have cheated. We see a successful business and assume they're dodging taxes. We start to hate the very success we claim to want. And by lying to ourselves like that, we pretty much guarantee we'll never achieve it. So here's the bottom line. You can't change the family you're born into. You can't change your past. None of us can. But the future you build for yourself, that is 100% on you. It's all about dropping the excuses and finally taking ownership. So we've walked through the 5 big traps that keep people stuck. The family secret, being one step from disaster, the Instagram debt, hitting the brakes on learning, and that sour grapes mindset. The good news? Now you see them. You know what they look like. The power is officially in your hands. So the only question left is, which one are you going to escape first?